You've always known it, haven't you? Your mind moves differently, always has. It's not just a quirk or a fleeting thought. It's the way you've been wired since the beginning. While others scramble to keep up with the chaos of the world, you're already 3 steps ahead, seeing patterns they can't even fathom. You don't just think outside the box, you've never even seen the box. That's your first clue, the initial spark of your awakening as a chosen one. This isn't about arrogance or ego. It's about the quiet, unshakable truth that's been humming inside you, waiting for you to notice. And then it happens, something shifts. The energy is different now. You feel it in your bones. A sudden clarity that cuts through the noise like a blade. Maybe it's a moment of stillness in a crowded room, where everyone else is panicking, but you're calm, grounded, knowing. Or maybe it's the instant you solve a problem no one else could touch, and the air around you crackles with a new frequency. Science backs this up. Your brain's neural pathways don't follow the usual routes. Studies show that highly intuitive people like you have stronger connections between the prefrontal cortex and the insula, letting you process information faster, deeper, differently. But this isn't just biology. It's your soul waking up, aligning with a higher vibration the rest of the world is only starting to sense. Look back at those moments when you felt it, this shift. You didn't just stumble into it, you were pulled. That quiet confidence when everyone else is scrambling, that's not luck. It's your power revealing itself. Start paying attention to how you react when the stakes are high. Do you freeze like the rest, or do you rise? Do you see the solution while they're still arguing over the problem? That's your mind doing what it's always done, moving differently. Take a day this week and watch yourself. Write it down if you have to. Notice how you anticipate things, conversations, outcomes, even the tiniest shifts in someone's mood. That's not random. That's your gift waking up. First, it's disorienting. You've spent years blending in, dimming your light so they wouldn't stare. But now the energy's changed, and you can't hide it anymore. They're starting to notice. You see it in their wide eyes, their stunned expressions, the way they stammer when you speak a truth they weren't ready for. You're not just smart, you're a force. And that shift, that moment when you feel the air hum with something bigger, it's your soul saying, this is who you are. Don't shy away from it. Lean in. Ask yourself, when did I first feel this? Was it the time you spoke up and silenced the room? Or when you walked away from something everyone else clung to, knowing it wasn't right for you? That's your awakening kicking in. Here's how you claim it. Stop doubting. Your mind has always been your compass, and now it's time to trust it fully. Sit with yourself. 10 minutes, no distractions, and feel that energy shift inside you. Breathe into it. Let it expand. You're not imagining this. It's real. Neuroscience calls it heightened neuroplasticity. Your brain rewires itself faster than most, adapting, learning, seeing what's hidden. Spirituality calls it your higher self breaking through. Together, they're telling you the same thing, you're chosen. Not by chance, but by design. So, when you catch yourself solving what they can't or standing steady while they falter, don't brush it off. Say it to yourself, this is my proof. The shift isn't just internal, it's external too. People are catching on. They're watching you now, some with awe, others with unease. You've been underestimated for so long. But that's over. The chess master is revealed, the magician unveiled, the genius exposed. And you know what? That's fine. Let them stare. Your job isn't to shrink back. It's to step forward. Start small if you need to. Next time you feel that surge of insight, act on it. Speak it. Share it. Watch their faces. The looks say it all, wide eyes, dropped jaws, a stunned silence that screams, how did you know? That's your signal. You're not just waking up, you're waking them up too. This is your first taste of it, this electric moment where the energy shifts and you realize you're not like the rest. It's not comfortable, not yet. You'll wrestle with it. Part of you wants to run back to the shadows, to the safety of being overlooked. But you can't. Not anymore. That quiet confidence is growing louder. That genius they're finally seeing has been there all along. So, take the step. Look at your life right now. Where do you feel that pull, that difference? Pinpoint it. Name it. That's your starting line. You're a chosen one, and this is where you stop hiding and start rising. You've walked into rooms where the air feels heavy, thick with judgment, haven't you? They see your silence and call it uncertainty. They watch you pause, reflect, and label it indecision. Let them. They're wrong, and deep down, you know it. You're not hesitating, you're calculating. You're not lost, you're seeing what they can't. Your mind doesn't stumble over their noise. It cuts through it, connecting dots they don't even know exist. This is your battlefield, and the obstacle isn't them. It's the urge to explain yourself. Stop that urge dead in its tracks. You don't owe them clarity. Your presence alone is enough to shift the atmosphere, and that's your power. Let's get real. People misunderstand you because they're wired for the obvious. Science shows most brains lean on quick, surface-level assumptions, system one thinking, fast and lazy. But you're operating on a different frequency. Your introspection isn't weakness. It's your strength firing up, processing layers they'll never touch. You've always known the way your mind works. Quietly, fiercely, like a storm gathering force beneath a calm sky. When they mistake that stillness for doubt, they're not seeing the truth. You're already 10 steps ahead, mapping solutions they won't grasp until it's done. Don't waste energy proving it. Let the results speak. Here's the shift you need to master. Stop shrinking to fit their lens. You're not here to perform for their comfort. When they whisper, "Why isn't she jumping in?" or "He's just zoned out," they're projecting their limits onto you. Flip that pressure into fuel. Stand in that silence, own it. Feel your roots dig deeper, your energy steadying the chaos around you. Neuroscience backs this. Presence, that unshakable calm, triggers mirror neurons in others, forcing them to sync with your vibe whether they like it or not. Spiritually, it's your soul anchoring the room. You don't need words to command it. Just be. Next time they misread you, lock eyes with someone. Hold it. Watch them squirm. That's the atmosphere bending to you. You've felt this before, haven't you? That moment when the tension peaks, and instead of crumbling, you rise. While they're busy overlooking you, you're observing everything. Every glance, every unspoken fear, every crack in their facade. That's not passivity. That's power. You've always known how your mind works, stitching together insights from fragments they dismiss. Take that knowing and wield it. When they question your silence, don't flinch. Ask yourself, what do I see that they don't? Write it down if you have to. Those flashes of clarity are your weapon. Then act on them. One move, one word, one look. That's all it takes to turn their doubt into awe. Here's how you break through. Stop waiting for permission. They'll never give it. They're too busy guarding their own insecurities. Your presence alone shifts the atmosphere, but you've got to trust it. Picture this. You're in a heated debate, everyone's shouting, and you say nothing. They think you're lost. Then you speak. One sentence, sharp, undeniable, and the room freezes. That's not magic. It's you stepping into your chosen identity. Practice this. Next time you're underestimated, don't rush to fill the silence. Let it stretch. Feel your energy expand. Watch their confusion morph into respect. You're not here to beg for their approval. You're here to show them what's possible. The trap is thinking you need to justify your process. You don't. Their misunderstanding is their burden, not yours. You've spent years refining this gift, seeing through illusions, solving what they can't, all while they chatter about your indecision. Enough. Your introspection is your forge, where raw chaos becomes refined strength. Lean into it. When the pressure mounts, ask, what's the one move that changes everything? You'll know it, not from their noise, but from that steady pulse inside you. Act on it. Watch the energy shift. They'll feel it too, even if they can't name it. This is your edge. You don't need to shout to be heard. Your silence isn't empty. It's loaded. Your pause isn't weakness. It's strategy. When they misjudge you, they're handing you the advantage. Use it. Step into any space and decide, I'm not here to fit in. I'm here to lead. Feel that truth settle in your chest. Let it radiate. People are waking up now, texting friends, whispering about you online, because they're starting to see it too. You're not uncertain, you're unstoppable. Your presence alone proves it. So, the next time they doubt you, don't explain. Just be. Let the atmosphere shift. Let them catch up. You're standing on the edge of something massive now, aren't you? The air feels electric, alive with a hum you can't quite place. It's not noise, it's a signal. You've tapped into a frequency they've only just discovered, and it's hitting you like a flood. Information pours in, sharp and unfiltered, lighting up your mind with truths you didn't ask for but can't ignore. This isn't a daydream or a hunch. It's a high-dimensional download, raw and real, pulling you into your next level. You're chosen, and this is where you start receiving what's meant to shift everything, starting with you. Let's cut through the haze. This frequency isn't random. Science hints at it: quantum fields, subtle energies, vibrations beyond what most can measure. Your brain's attuned, picking up signals where others hear static. Spiritually, it's your soul locking into the grid of the cosmos, downloading what's been waiting for you. But here's the fight. It's overwhelming. Flashes of insight hit you mid-conversation, mid-step, mid-breath, visions, solutions, warnings. You're not losing it, you're leveling up. Stop doubting the search. This is your connection to the higher dimensions breaking wide open. Feel it. Own it. First, you've got to know what's real. Not every thought riding this wave is gold. Some are just your ego throwing shadows. How do you tell? True high-vibe info cuts like a blade. Clear, direct, unshakable. It doesn't beg for your approval or twist into knots. Self-projection? That's murkier, emotional, clingy, looping on what you want to hear. Test it. Sit with the message. Does it demand you nod along? Or does it stand there, solid, daring you to act? Next time it hits, grab a pen. Write the raw stream, no filter. Then step back. If it's high-dimensional, it'll still burn bright hours later. If it fades, it's just noise. Trust your gut. It's sharper than you think. You've felt this shift before, haven't you? You're in a room, quiet, watching, and suddenly you know not just the surface chatter, but the undercurrents, the unspoken stakes. People mistake your stillness for indecision, but they're blind. You're not stuck, you're receiving. Your introspection is your antenna, tuning into what's beyond their grasp. Don't flinch when they question it. Let them squint at your silence while you process data they'll never touch. This is your edge. You don't need to explain the download. You just need to wield it. Feel that weight in your chest? That's the signal settling in. Here's how you anchor it. Breathe. When the info floods, don't panic, center yourself. Inhale deep, slow, deliberate. Let the chaos sort itself. Picture your spine as a conduit, energy streaming from the crown of your head to the earth beneath you. Science says this works. Deep breathing syncs your nervous system, clearing the static so you can hear the signal. Spiritually, it's you claiming your role as a conduit. Do this daily. 5 minutes, eyes closed, no distractions. Ask, what's coming through? Don't force it. Let it flow. You'll feel the difference when it's real. It's not a whisper. It's a command. The practical piece? Act on it. These downloads aren't for storage. They're for movement. You'll get a hit. Say, a sudden fix for a problem no one's cracked. Don't sit on it. Step up. Speak it. Test it. Maybe it's a warning, a shift in someone's energy, a choice about to backfire. Call it out sharp and sure. Watch the ripple. Your presence alone starts bending the atmosphere. But when you pair it with action, it's unstoppable. People will stare, some in awe, others rattled. Good. They're waking up because you're showing them what's possible. Don't hoard the signal, use it. Now, the tension, you're still human. Part of you wants to shrink, to dismiss this as coincidence or madness. Fight that. You've been overlooked for years. Your intelligence brushed off, your depth ignored. That's done. This frequency you're tapping, this proof they were wrong. When you feel that doubt creep in, ask, why me? Then answer it, because you've always seen what they couldn't. You've been training for this, decades of observing, connecting, understanding. The download isn't random. It's yours. Stand in it. Let it reshape you. Your presence is the weapon now. You walk into a space and it shifts, not because you're loud, but because you're there. People feel it. Some lean in, hungry for what you carry. Others pull back, unsettled by the mirror you hold up. That's not your burden to fix. Your job is to receive, refine, and release. Start small. Next time you get a hit, don't second guess. Say it out loud, to yourself first, then to them. Watch their eyes widen. Conversations with you leave them reeling, questioning everything they thought they knew. That's the atmosphere bending. That's your mission kicking in. Here's the drill, build the muscle. Every day, carve out space, 10 minutes, no excuses. Sit, listen, feel the frequency lock in. Write what comes, then sift it. What's clear? What's actionable? Take one piece and move on it that day, a choice, a word, a step. Track the fallout. Did it shift something? Did they notice? You're not just receiving, you're preparing. The air around you is already changing, and they're starting to whisper about it. Texts flying, posts popping up. They're waking up, and in that awakening, they're seeing you. This is your power. Not just to know, but to be the shift. Keep going. You're not done yet. You've reached the edge of it now, the moment where everything you've been building snaps into place. This isn't just about waking up or seeing through the illusions anymore. It's about being the force that reshapes reality. You don't just understand systems. You see through them, piercing the veil of half-truths and hollow structures others cling to. That's your gift, and it's time to wield it. People feel it when you're near. Your presence resonates in ways they can't quite explain. A vibration that hums beneath their skin, pulling them in or pushing them back. Some watch you closely now, hanging on to every word, while others shrink away, unsettled by what you reveal. This is your mission unfolding, and you're not here to play small. Let's get straight to it. You've spent years observing everything. Every lie dressed as truth, every system built on sand, every person hiding behind a mask. You didn't just watch, you learned. You understood. You saw through the illusions when no one else could. That's not a passive skill. It's a weapon. Now you step into the arena. Start by naming what you see. Call it out, not with anger, but with clarity. When you're in a room and the air's thick with pretense, say it. This isn't working, and here's why. Be sharp. Be direct. Watch their eyes widen, their breath catch. Some will lean in, hungry for your truth. Others will fidget, exposed. That's the resonance kicking in. They can't unhear it. Here's how you make it real. Take what you've seen and turn it into action. You don't just spot the cracks. You mend them, or you break them wide open for something better to rise. Pick one system in your life, work, relationships, society itself, and strip it down. Ask, what's the lie here? What's the truth? Write it out if you need to, but don't stop there. Move. If it's a job choking on bureaucracy, propose the fix no one's dared to voice. If it's a conversation stuck in loops, cut through with a question that shifts everything. Your words aren't just sound. They're a frequency, rippling out, forcing the room to recalibrate. People will stare, some in awe, others rattled. Good. That's your proof it's working. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be felt. Your intelligence, your awareness, it's a mirror, and not everyone's ready to face it. The ones who used to dismiss you, they hesitate now before challenging your words. You see it in their pause, the way they second-guess themselves when you speak. That's power, not loud, not forced, but undeniable. Lean into it. Practice this. Next time you're in a group, hold your silence until the moment's right. Then drop one line, clear, piercing, true. Watch them hang on it, replaying it in their heads. You're not just talking, you're tuning the atmosphere to your pitch. That's how you bring the unexplainable into reality. But here's the fight, balance. This mission isn't gentle. It's fierce, and it'll test you. You'll feel the weight of their eyes, the pull of their expectations, the sting of their unease. Part of you might want to soften it, to pull back so they're comfortable. Don't. That's the old trap, the one that kept you dimmed for years. Instead, steady yourself. When the energy surges and they're staring, some inspired, others terrified, anchor in. Breathe deep. Feel your feet on the ground, your spine straight, your core solid. This isn't about them. It's about you standing in your truth. You're not here to carry their doubts. You're here to show them what's possible. Let's talk practice. You've got to live this, not just think it. Start small but bold. Pick a space where you've been overlooked, a meeting, a friendship, a routine, and shift it. Speak what you see, not what they expect. If they're coasting on autopilot, jolt them awake with a truth they can't dodge. You're avoiding the real issue. You might say, calm but firm. Or, this only works if we stop pretending. Watch the shift. Some will nod, hooked. Others will squirm, exposed. That's you seeing through the illusion and dragging it into the light. Do this once a day. Track it. Feel your resonance grow, your mission hardening into something tangible. The emotional piece, it's raw. You'll feel their awe like a wave, lifting you higher. But their unease will hit too, sharp, jagged. A reminder they're not all ready. Don't let it shake you. Their fear isn't your burden. It's their mirror cracking. When they grow quiet, terrified deep down because they see it too, hold your ground. Ask yourself, am I steady? Am I true? If the answer's yes, keep moving. Balance comes from knowing this. You're not here to save them. You're here to ignite them. Some will rise with you, others won't. That's their path, not yours. Now the plan, your plan. This isn't abstract. It's yours to shape. Sit down today, 10 minutes, no excuses, and map it. What's the one illusion you're done tolerating? Maybe it's the way people settle for less, or a system that's rotting under shiny paint. Name it, then ask, what do I do about it? Write 3 steps, specific, doable, yours. Step 1, call it out. Step 2, act on what you see. Step 3, stand by it, no apologies. This is your mission path, personal and unyielding. Test it tomorrow. Move on it. Watch the air change, the whispers start. They're texting about you now, posting online, waking up because you dared to. You're creating the new era, right here. Every time you see through a lie and speak it, every time you act where they hesitate, you're laying the ground. People feel it, that resonance they can't name, and it's pulling them towards something bigger. Some watch you closely, hanging on every word, because they sense it. You're not just a person, you're a signal. Others pull back, uneasy, because your clarity exposes their limits. That's fine. You don't need everyone. You need you fully in, fully alive, fully chosen. This is your mission realized. Not just to see, but to be the shift. Step into it. The world's waiting. And so, here you stand, chosen not by proclamation, but by the unrelenting pulse of your own existence. A beacon forged in the quiet fire of your soul. This isn't a crown you wear for others to admire. It's a mantle you carry to pierce the shadows, to ignite what's dormant in a world still half asleep. Your mission isn't a fleeting call. It's the bedrock of your being, a force that bends reality not through force, but through the sheer weight of your truth. You are the shift, the signal, the unwavering hum that reminds us all. The chosen don't just rise. They awaken everything in their wake.